You know that feeling, right? That heart in your throat moment when the engine sputters, the power dies, and you realize you're basically a sitting duck on a busy road? It is incredibly stressful, but panicking? Well, that's not a plan. So today, we're going to build that plan step by step so you know exactly what to do if it happens. Let's just jump right in. All right, so picture it. You're there, cars and trucks are just whipping past you. What do you do? What is your first move in that first critical minute? Your mind might be screaming a dozen different things at once, but believe it or not, there is a clear sequence of actions that can literally be a lifesaver. You know, that first minute after your car dies is actually the most dangerous one. That's when you're at the highest risk for a second crash, mostly because other drivers on the road have no idea you're stopped. So the actions we're about to cover, they are absolutely non-negotiable. It all comes down to three simple steps. First, the second you feel trouble, bam, hit those hazard lights. It's the universal signal that something's wrong. Second, use whatever momentum you have left to steer as far over to the right shoulder as you can get. The more space, the better. And third, and this one's important, turn your front wheels away from the road. It might seem like a tiny detail, but it's a game changer. So why do that? Well, the physics here are really simple, but kind of brilliant. It's a huge safety measure. If another car rear-ends you, all that force is going to push you forward. But with your wheels turned away from the road, your car rolls into the ditch or maybe a barrier, not back out into a live lane of traffic. See, it's a perfect example of how one small, deliberate action can prevent a total catastrophe. Okay, so your car is off the road. It's visible. Now comes the waiting game. But where do you wait? Do you stand outside? Do you sit inside the car? This is a huge decision, and honestly, the right answer really depends on where you are. Let's break this down. If you're on a high-speed highway with, no shoulder to speak of, your car is your best shield. Seriously, stay inside with your seatbelt on. The car is designed to take an impact. But if there's a solid guardrail or a big grassy area you can get to safely, then get out of the vehicle. Always from the passenger's side, away from traffic, and put that barrier between you and the road. And look, this official advice from the RCMP really backs that up. The general rule is to stay with your vehicle. It makes it super easy for rescuers to find you, and it gives you shelter. The key here is just to use your judgment. Your car is your location marker, and in most situations, it's probably your safest spot to wait. Now, while you're waiting, you also have to think about your personal security, because a stranded car can make you a target. So, first thing, lock the doors. If a stranger pulls over to help, you can talk to them through a slightly crocked window, but don't open the door or roll the window all the way down. A simple, "Thanks, but I've already got professional help on the way," is all you need. And it sure goes without saying, but never, ever accept a ride from a stranger. So we've covered what you should be doing. Now let's flip that around and talk about what not to do. Honestly, avoiding these common mistakes is just as critical as taking the right steps in the first place. Let's just highlight a couple of the most lethal errors here. Number one, never, ever, ever get out of your car on the side where traffic is. That's a fatal mistake. And number two, don't stand right in front of or behind your car. If someone has stopped to help you, do not stand between the two vehicles. If your car gets hit, you could be crashed. The safest place is either way far away from the road or back inside your car. You know, not all breakdowns are the same. An electric vehicle, for example, has its own unique set of challenges, and so does really bad weather. So let's quickly go over the special rules for these kinds of high-stakes situations. Okay, if you drive an EV, listen up. This is crucial. When you call for a tow, you must tell them it's an electric vehicle and that you need a flatbed truck. Towing an EV with its wheels on the ground can completely destroy the electric motors. You also need to know how to put your car into tow mode or transport mode so the brakes disengage. And if you've been in an accident, stay far, far away from any bright orange cables you see. Those are high voltage and extremely dangerous. Bad weather just makes everything worse, right? It kills your visibility, which makes you so much harder to see. So if it's raining or foggy, turn on your interior dome light. It actually makes the silhouette of your car more visible to other drivers. If it's freezing cold, you can run the heater for a few minutes at a time, but only if you are 100% sure the exhaust pipe isn't blocked by snow. And in really thick fog, the shoulder is just not a safe place to stand. Stay inside, buckled up. You've done it. You stayed safe, and now you see those flashing lights of the tow truck coming your way. Awesome. But hang on, you're not quite done yet. There are a couple of final, quick checks to make sure you're actually dealing with a legit professional.
It's a super simple two-step verification. First, does the truck actually have the official logo and markings of the company you called? Second, before you even think about handing over your keys, ask to see the driver's company ID. A real pro will totally expect this and won't have any problem showing you. This just makes sure you're not dealing with some random, unlicensed operator trying to take advantage.
And to make this whole thing go a lot faster and smoother, try to have this info ready to go. Your exact location, a GPS pin from your phone is perfect, the make and model of your car, and tell them if it's an EV or all-wheel drive. And, of course, where you want the car to be taken. Having all this prepared means the driver can get right to it, and that gets you off the dangerous roadside that much faster. So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty simple. When your car fails, your plan shouldn't. Panicking is reactive, but having a plan is proactive. Knowing these steps helps replace that fear with a clear, calm, and most importantly, effective course of action. It really is your best safety tool.